Bonjour tout le monde! Okay, we're here with 2 tunes this week because I got behind and missed one last week. These are 2 New Brunswick jigs. The first one is Claude Austin, it's a tune from Claude Austin. And the second one is called David's Jig. It was written by Matilda Murdoch of Miramichi. So 2 fun Acadian jigs from New Brunswick. Two great New Brunswick jigs. So I'll be playing both of those jigs at Seattle's Northwest Folklife Festival. It'll be fun to be going back to Folklife. I'm doing the Fiddlers Showcase this year, and I'll be showcasing Acadian tunes for the Fiddlers Showcase with my wife Deja and my dad Louie and maybe my kid Zoe. We're all going to be on stage playing Acadian tunes. Sunday, May 28th, around noon at the Eve Alfred Theater is the Fiddlers Showcase. It goes from like 11 to 1, I think. And there's some other great fiddlers as well. But I'll be bringing a bunch of Acadian tunes, some of which were tunes of the week, or are going to be tunes of the week. Hope to see you there. 2 tunes from New Brunswick, 2 jigs from New Brunswick. It's New Brunswick Acadian music. You know, there's a great love for jigs out there. They even called them the slow, which I thought was kind of cool because they were played slow. That's what I heard in the Acadian Peninsula. So one of the tunes is from the Acadian Peninsula, northeast New Brunswick, and the other tune is from Miramichi. The first tune, Claude Austin, is from the fiddler Claude Austin. He was a really legendary fiddler. He was on these classic films, Les Sons des Français en Amérique, I think was the name of them. But he never recorded anything, and he was kind of hard to track down, actually. But people only knew him from these films, essentially. So we brought him to Fiddle Tunes, or Robin LeBlanc brought him to Fiddle Tunes. We all got to hang out with him and spend time with him, and he had some great tunes, and this was one of them. I think I can play a field recording I made of him playing this tune. He didn't have a name. He doesn't have a name for that many of his tunes, and he had a lot of great jigs. For whatever reason, he loved jigs, and he had a really special repertoire that was very old and different from a lot of other fiddlers, and he had a really neat way of playing. So let's hear a little bit of Claude Austin playing this nice jig. It's on my phone, see? So that's just a clip off my phone of a field recording I made of him in class teaching it. And other folks who were at Fiddle Tunes that year probably know this tune. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's a really neat little tune. But you can hear from his playing, he used a lot of microtones and had really unusual ways of playing. We never could quite figure out the story on that, and when we asked him, he wasn't really able to say, but he had a really unique way of playing the fiddle that was really beautiful. So the other tune is written actually by Matilda Murdoch. She's not Acadian, she's Irish, of Irish roots, from Miramichi, I believe from the Irish community in Miramichi. Great fiddler, much loved in New Brunswick. A lot of the Down East fiddlers play her tunes. And I learned this tune from Gerry Robichaud, so I figure that makes it Acadian. Gerry Robichaud was an Acadian fiddler from New Brunswick. So it was called David's Jig. So we can hear Gerry Robichaud's version of that here. Off of the... It's a really fun jig. Out of print for now, but since Smithsonian Folkways owns Voyager Records, this will be back in print soon. Gerry Robichaud, Down East Fiddling, on Voyager Recordings. Recorded in Seattle, I think. Well, maybe not in Seattle. Oh, it's recorded in Massachusetts, but same thing. You don't really need a lot of ornaments in the first part. It's just a great tune. Really fun jig to play, so I hope you enjoyed them. Let's try them now nice and slow. Okay, well, let's break down the first tune. This is from Claude Austin, a nice jig from Claude Austin from northeastern New Brunswick, and it's fun to play on the fiddle. Kind of cool feel to it. It's in D. The ending is nice ending. The B part's a little tricky. You gotta kind of keep your third finger between the two strings, press them at once so you make a double stop. Ooh, yeah, that sounds bad. That's better, maybe. It helps to kind of keep those third fingers together. And then do a little hammer on there. practice to get that one. So let's do the next tune then, the David's Jig. So I think that was it for the Claude Austin. There's a lot of little hammer-ons you can do. It's a great jig. You don't need a lot of ornaments. Good jigs you don't need a lot of ornaments on. You know, it's only the jigs that don't really have the right notes or enough notes that you need to put some ornaments in. But these jigs have all you need, really. Okay, here's David's Jig. This was written by Matilda Murdoch. So the second part's nice. You can start. I'll play it straight and then we'll teach you the variations. How about that? It's a low second finger. So the variations, let's see, the first part I don't think it has many variations. I don't think there's anything to do to that. It's perfect as the way it is. It doesn't need anything. But the second one, there's some neat stuff you can do. Instead of doing it like this, you kind of swoop up with like running up the scale. Some fun variations on that. Well, hope you enjoyed those. Those were two fun New Brunswick jigs. Thanks, folks.